Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Hope you're doing well. And today saw the release of the very first comic set within the world of Ghost with Sister Imperator #1, which is just the first step in expanding the lore and story of Ghost more than ever before. So in this video, let's dive into our breakdown of this first issue. Sister Imperator #1 delves into the dark and tragic past of the enigmatic figure behind the Ghost mythos. The issue begins in an undisclosed year, with the young sister being held in a jail cell, questioned about her violent actions against an elderly man who it seemed she was about to kill if it wasn't for the arrival of the police. But rather than a straightforward confession, she launches into a deeply personal tale that rewinds the clock to her troubled childhood. The story shifts to Hartford, Connecticut in 1953. Young sister, then just a child, lived in what seemed to be the idyllic American dream: a well-kept home, a loving family, and a father devoted to his religious duties. But as she reflects, this dream was nothing more than a carefully constructed lie. Her father, a man of faith, quickly becomes the target of an ambitious and manipulative new reverend. This newcomer isn't just after power within the church, he wants to take everything her father has built. Behind closed doors, he and sister's mother engage in tense discussions, revealing an undercurrent of fear and control. Her mother urges her father to play along, but he refuses to bow to corruption. His defiance leads to a shocking moment of betrayal. He is executed in cold blood inside the church. Sister, witnessing the crime, tries to expose the reverend, but her claims fall on deaf ears. Instead of being believed, she's dismissed as an imaginative, troubled girl. Worse yet, the reverend inserts himself into the family as her stepfather, tightening his grip on the household. With her father gone, the reverend assumes complete control. He rules with an iron fist, enforcing his twisted interpretation of morality, banning Halloween, and meting out physical punishment to keep his family in line. Sister remains defiant, trying to shield her younger sisters from his cruelty. However, the breaking point comes on Halloween night. Dressed in costume, she takes her sisters trick-or-treating against his orders. When he catches them, he unleashes his full wrath, violently beating them and dragging them back inside. What follows is a night of horror, culminating in a brutal act of violence that leaves the young Imperator scarred forever. The next morning, the Reverend manipulates the authorities, painting Sister as unstable and possibly responsible for her missing sisters. Her mother, fully under his influence, allows this narrative to take hold. With no one to turn to, Sister realizes she is alone. As she grows older, she learns to fend for herself, traveling aimlessly across the country. She finds herself in dangerous situations, barely surviving on scraps, and even considering drastic actions to escape her suffering. Eventually, she boards a ship bound for Europe, hoping to escape her past. Her journey leads her to a traveling circus where she finds a group of misfits who take her in. Among them is Marika, a red-haired woman who welcomes her as a sister. However, just as she begins to find a sense of belonging, eerie visions of her lost sisters appear, reminding her that her past is never far behind. Back in that undisclosed year where we started, she finishes her story in the jail cell, leaving her interrogator shaken. He presses her for more details, specifically about her violent actions earlier that night. With a knowing smirk, she teases that her story is just beginning. Sister Imperator #1 is an incredible debut issue that exceeded my expectations in both storytelling and brutality. I was genuinely surprised by how dark it got, but that only made it more compelling. In just one issue, it adds so much depth to the ghost mythos, giving us a tragic and unsettling origin for the Ghoul twins, who turn out to be Sister Imperator's murdered twin sisters. The horror, the atmosphere, the emotional weight of it all make this a must-read for any Ghost fan. I can't wait for issue 2 and to see how this world continues to expand. But let me know what you thought of this issue down in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like, and don't forget to subscribe to stay up to date with all of our upcoming videos. And for more on Ghost, take a look at the rest of the channel, because if you have Ghost, you have everything.